Installation. We have Vince Zubke. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us again.
Yes.
Appreciate it. So we've been talking a little bit about flooring. I mean, obviously, but I think what's really important too is your background. You know, you've done installation is kind of your foundation, if you will, ironically. So maybe what's kind of what draws you to want to do flooring installation? Was it just something that you kind of stumbled across, or you're like, I like this, I'm going to do it?
Yep. I started started as just kind of a part-time, just trying to make some little extra money.
Mm-hmm.
But once I started doing it, then I noticed that you get a lot of fruits from your labor.
Mm-hmm.
And it was more fulfilling than just doing the machining that I was doing before. It can be fun. It can be challenging. It actually makes you use your mind more. I think everybody should find that one thing that just draws them to getting something out of it instead of just a job.
Yeah, more of that prideful, feeling when you get a job done. I suppose, some think it's just the laminate stuff you unroll or carpet you throw down, but you've done customized things too, where you've had like gymnasiums and even like with the tiles. Can you talk on some of those like customized things you've done too?
Yeah, like I said, with the gym floors, it can go pretty quick because there's a big area that you don't have to worry too much about. It's just putting it in, but then you have the lines for all your basketball and volleyball courts, stuff like that, and getting those just perfect. There's plenty of companies that make those lines and everything that make it kind of simple, but still cutting up to them, because not everything is not a perfect puzzle. It just, you have to get it, and some of those are pretty tight where you have to get them cut in there just right, because you don't want to have any of those little gaps like that.
Mm-hmm.
And backsplashes, a lot of people like, I just want this put on there, and that, sure, I can just do a plain Subway backsplash for you. It'll look good, but it's like, what if we just throw this little bit of other mosaics in there just to give it a little pizzazz? My first backsplash I did in one of my houses, I took a lot of time in it and put in a nice little, above the stove, put in a nice little kind of accent piece in there. My other one, I used 3 different tiles on the backsplash, just so you don't have just these normal backsplashes. I did herringbone backsplash for one person, and I like the looks when they're done. They're a pain in the butt to do.
Yeah.
Because they're not as simple as just starting off with one row. You kind of have to integrate them all together so they don't get too close, too far apart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's been quite a bit. I mean, a majority of them are you're just plain, just throw something down in there and do it. But I have done quite a few, even just regular vinyl plank floors where they kind of have a weave and a tile in between them. It's those I always stress about them, but they always do look really good once they're done.
Yeah, I think that's just another way to explain passion, because you don't want to leave, and that is a representation of you, in a sense. So the job done. So yeah, that's perfect. Well, when you do think of that kind of product itself, when you have these vinyl plankings and people are dealing with like snow and mud right now, a lot of that, especially if you're maybe doing a newer home and you want to get something that's good quality, but you're trying to maybe save a penny here and there. Is there a specific wear layer or like a thickness people should look for when they're in South Dakota?
Yeah, with the vinyl planks, you can get anywhere from a 8 mil, what they call 8 mil wear layers. Those would be your less expensive ones. I would suggest that you go at least to a 12 mil. That's just your clear what they talk about them, it's just a clear layer that's on top of it. And it's to protect whatever's printed on there to show you what it looks like and stuff like that. So the more that you put on there, then it takes a lot more to wear onto it by shuffling your feet across it, or if you have a chair that goes across there, it's just to protect that. Those wear layers will still scratch, but they don't show the scratch as much as if you go deep into that, because those printed layers are really thick. And then once you get to whatever's underneath there is going to start showing through. So you definitely want to have at least a 12 mil. They do have 20 to 30 mil wear layers, so it's going to be more expensive, but they definitely, if you do move chairs around a lot, or even roller chairs and stuff like that, just to protect it so you don't have to, in a year, see that print wearing off. Yep.
There's probably too then where you see a difference in, just for example, if you can buy something, a dollar a foot versus $5 a foot, but they both say that they're, they have that protectant against scratches, but you still kind of get what you pay for. So I suppose the one that's way cheaper, that's not going to last near as long, or maybe it's not as good of a product layer or something there.
Yeah. It's just like everything else. You get what you pay for. If you do go with a little less expensive, it may still say it has a 12 mil wear layer on it, but the thickness of it is a lot thinner. So it doesn't hide a lot of the imperfections underneath it. If you look at all of the products, their warranties and everything like that, if you look into them, they always say that you have to have a smooth, flat surface. And if you go into any home, whether it's a new home or even a pre-existing home where you're just remodeling it, those floors are not perfect.
Yeah.
And according to all of their specifications that they have on there, they have legal people that's like, well, you have to have it this way. It has to just be like this. Well, it's not going to be that way. It hardly ever you're going to have a floor that's infallible. It's always going to have little imperfections. So a lot of those smaller ones are going to show more of those imperfections. If you get a thicker piece, it's going to hide a lot of those imperfections, because there's more to they line up better. Especially there's some that have no bevel edges to them, so they're just flush with each other. If you have any little imperfection there, just the slightest bit of one edge sticking up from the other, and you can see kind of the in between, it's really going to show through. So sometimes just having bevels on them will help hide those. So it's sticking out those edges, so you're not going to see those imperfections.
Yeah, I think that's what you probably don't think about, when you're out there doing those kinds of things. Did you have a question over there, June?
Well, yeah, you spoke about backsplash, and I also see on your website that you do surrounds for fireplaces too,
Yes.
to kind of make them look a little bit better, and also showers. Tell me about that. Is that a tile and grout process?
Yeah, they're both tile and grout. They're basically going to be the same thing as if you do anywhere else. The same kind of, just the mortars might be a little different, depending on heat like that. I had one lady that wanted to do kind of some tile on the outside of her. And she's like, I like the way they look. So you see them down in the Southwest all the time. They put these little tiles outside and stuff like that. And I had to tell her that I couldn't do it. It's just because in South Dakota, you have a lot different temperature and temperature changes than you do down there. There is not a mortar out there for tile and the tile itself that will adhere to the freeze-thaw that we have here. We have extreme cold where it'll freeze and expand the moisture that's in the mortar and then thaw out, and then so it shrink. Every time it does that, it's loosening up against those tiles. And I told her, it's like, I can't do it here. Down there, it's fine because the temperatures stay about the same, humidity's down. It's like, so yeah, those I couldn't do. But a lot of the other for fireplaces and showers and stuff like that. As long as you use the right products, they work great.
So that's where the years of experience come in. If somebody has an idea and they think it's crazy and not going to work, or you think it's crazy and not going to work, you can advise them on that, correct?
Yes. Yes. I also had, and it was a family member that they had a grand idea. I loved the idea. They wanted to do a shower, but they wanted it to look like a waterfall. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's so great. So I looked into it and researched and just plenty of years of just life know that there's some things that you would have to do and change. And I was like, I can do it so there's stone on the outside. It looked just like a waterfall and stuff like that, but you're going to hate it because trying to clean those, because it was outside stone, and that's the only thing that you're going to find. It's like something that you see on the facade of a house and stuff like that. And in that shower, there's no way that you're going to be able to clean those, because outside you just have rain and stuff like that. You have water that's coming from either a rural system or something like that. It's hard. You would have to soften that water so much that you don't get that white film and stuff like that. Plus also washing yourself, you're going to have soils come off and stuff like that. And then the waterfall itself, you don't have enough water pressure to actually have enough water so you can actually use it to shower with.
Sure.
So we found a nice in between, still had the pebble on the bottom and just regular tile on the outside, and they were still happy with it. But I did a lot of research because I loved the idea, but I couldn't find anything that would work for them.
So if I'm on a set budget and I want to redo some flooring in my house, you can come in and suggest some products that you sell,
Yes.
and to fit my budget.
Yes, there is plenty of products out there. Like I said, I can get the same products that all the other places can get. There's some things that might be more specific to us, but there is a wider range of every product for every price point.
Can you, they still have, I mean, there's some wild stuff out there. Can you get a hold of that stuff? Like if somebody wants like pink carpet, I don't know if that's wild or not, but like if bowling alley carpet, hotel carpet, like can you do commercial things for folks? If someone wanted, hey, what if we hook up and you do all of our, X amount of work or something, you into the commercial stuff too?
Yes, we have plenty commercial products out there too. I do have another client that wants to put some carpet in their basement, but yet they worry about the moisture. It every so often can get wet depending on downspouts and everything like that. So I was working on trying to get some carpet tile, some commercial carpet tile to put into the basement that would work great. It's not as soft as your residential stuff. I mean, there's reasons why that they're more of a commercial grade is because they hold up better on wear, but they don't have the softness and feel that a lot of people like in their homes. So there's still going to be a difference going from commercial to residential, and then also from residential to commercial. You got to keep that in mind that these are made for more wear and tear on the commercial end and not as soft. So you'd have to just keep those in mind.
And you get when you deal with commercial too, you can do something with folks where if they're maybe even flipping a home or they've got a plan to do a few homes or something, is that something you can kind of help folks out with too?
Yep. I do quite a few of the flip homes and some apartments and stuff like that, where the budget is more the idea than your softness and feel, because you don't know who's going to be in there. And you just, especially with a rental, you want something that's going to last. So there's plenty commercial products that I can get a hold of that will do that. And also depending on the scope, how big it is, there is some wiggle room. Even though you pay directly to those mills, I still have a little bit of wiggle room that I can ask the representatives, like, what's your best price on that? And they can sometimes, if it's a large amount, drop them down. So yeah, I can definitely work at a lot of budgets, bigger projects.
Yeah. So really, I mean, if someone's building maybe a retail place or whatever, if you can get in there at the right time, you can pretty much handle the whole project. Really.
Oh
right?
yeah. Yep. Definitely.
Very good. Did you drum up any more questions?
No,
Okay.
I'm just thinking when I win the Powerball, I'm going to call him and I'm going to have him put a basketball court in my home. And then I want a monogrammed tile in my foyer or my mudroom with my initials. So I'm just making my plans over here.
Very nice. And a big D somewhere, big
Yeah.
monogram.
Yeah,
D.
you
Oh,
bet.
I like it. Well, you do have a location. You're at 1026 14th Street Southeast, next to kind of Hy-Vee there. But also, I kind of like this idea of like a mobile showroom, maybe. If you get folks that have, I don't know, I like 5 different ideas, and I'm just not sure. Will you bring it to the home and kind of walk them through it and show them how, to talk them through that kind of stuff?
Yes, I can definitely meet people at their homes and stuff like that. I mean, it is one of the things that can definitely help people make up their minds on what they're doing. If they can set it up against this fireplace or up against our cabinets, stuff like that, instead of having to go to the store, pick up the sample and then take it there. I can bring them to them. It is best if they have a little bit of mind, because I can't put all the samples into the vehicle and bring them to you.
Yeah.
If you don't, what I would do is probably just bring a few different samples just to show the differences between products, say from nylon to polyester in the carpets, their soft backs or regular backing to it. I can bring in, like, if you want a vinyl plank, I can give you the differences between the glue down, the click together, and then if it's click together, just bringing in your SPCs or your WPCs just to show the difference in the qualities, the thicknesses. So it would be just a small one, and then they can make up their mind, well, this is what you want, and then we can coordinate the time that I can come back and bring those samples, or if they wanted to go to the store, or even if they want to, they can go online to choicefloors.com, and they have a lot of the products there. And they do have where you can take a picture of your room that you want to do, and then throw that product in there, and it will kind of give you a look of what it would look like with your room. So there's plenty of different ways that you can shop with the internet and everything like that. You kind of have to stay on top of those kind of things. A lot of people, I still see that a lot of people do like to go down to a store and, just browse through that. But there's some people that definitely want to go into the home and kind of compare those, so I can definitely bring it.
Yeah. I think it depends on the person. You get some that I did retail for a long time. You have some that just kind of know everything about what they want, and they know exactly what they want, and they've done all the research. So I learned to just kind of say, yep, let me write that up for you. And then there's some that they don't even know what carpet is, I suppose.
Yep.
They really just need someone to kind of tell them it's going to be okay. We'll figure it out together. Stay away from this if you got kids, or something like that. So
yeah, and I'll be the first to admit, I'm not a great salesman. I am not going to push towards that more expensive. I'm never going to upsell it. I'm going to bring the products to you, and the products themselves will sell themselves. I'll tell you about the product, why it costs a little bit more, why it costs less, and then you just kind of make those decisions on your own. I'll be there as more of an informational and explain things, but I've never really been much. And I know plenty of people that could, sell just about anything to anyone, but that's just not quite who I am.
Yeah, that's exactly why we do this too, to show who they're doing business with or who they can do business with. You know, it makes a big difference having that experience from the retail installation side. And you've seen the horror stories of probably difficult sales or salespeople, or they didn't listen, or, you know, I've dealt with all that over the years too. So you kind of, you can steer people the right way and keep them away from all that negative stuff.
Yep, that's what I'm hoping to do. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. What we want to tell people, you can go to foundationsfloor.com to find out some more information. And how can they get a hold of you if they want to call you directly? Do we give them the 9474 number? Is that kind of the best?
Yes, that's the best. If you try calling my cell phone, there's a lot of times I won't answer if I'm doing an install and stuff like that. At least there, it goes directly to me or goes directly to the store. Someone to be able to answer and
Get you
help
squared
you.
up?
Yep.
Perfect. So that's 605-880-9474.
Yep.
605-880-9474. You can check out the store at 1026 14th Street Southeast. Are there certain days or times or anything that you are kind of open there?
Yeah. Mondays are by appointment only. We will, in just about any time appointment, if it works, that you can only look at like 7:00 at night this day or something like that. We can work with you.
Mm-hmm.
But our standard hours is Monday by appointment only, Tuesday from 9 to 5 or 10 to 5, sorry. And then Wednesday is also kind of a open. We're open from 10 to 5, but that one's a difficult time to reach someone. A lot of things going on. But Thursdays, Fridays, 10 to 5 on Thursday, 10 to 3 on Friday, and 9 to noon on Saturday.
Perfect.
Yep.
And so then you can go and check it out yourself there. And that shows too just how busy you are, a small business, and you're doing the sales, install, and doing it all. So sometimes they just got to call you if they need you.
Yeah, that's a good thing, is probably call ahead of time. Most of the times you should be able to get there, but yeah, sometimes life happens. I mean, we're both business owners, and so it's sometimes can be a little hectic, but yeah, we'll definitely be able to work with you and get you in there.
Awesome. Well, you heard it from Vince himself there. We'll have them back in studio again, maybe special guest with you next time. We'll tease them. We'll never know. But check them out. Madhatter Design by Foundations Floor Installation. You got someone who's got all the installation experience plus a lot of the product knowledge, but isn't going to give you the salesman. I don't know, the glitz and glitter.
The pushiness of a used car salesman.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah, that's perfect. So give Vince a call over there, and they'll take care of you. And we appreciate you coming in and sharing all this with us too. So thanks again.
Yes, thank